What's up, y'all? This is the Bowtie Boss, and I'm here to talk to you guys. Call us a public service announcement. There's been way too much going on about this whole Canelo business, and either Canelo fanboys, aka Canelo sluts, or the Canelo hate that are just hating on the kid. You know, I'm seeing a ton of it, man. So let me get my position out there as if anybody really gives a fuck. But let's lay the easy pieces out here, and then we'll get into the deep shit next. I'm gonna run you guys through the psychological aspect, a little bit of the business aspect, and a lot of bit of the fan aspect. All right. So first things first, Canelo is ducking Triple G, without a doubt. There's no and if you don't see that, then you are a Canelo slut. Period. He is ducking Triple G. Boom. Okay? Next point. Canelo is a fucking exceptional fighter. That motherfucker's really good. If you don't understand that or you can't agree with it, then you're just a hater, bro. Then you're a fanboy or a slut or somebody else. You're not a boxing fan if you don't see the skills that Canelo has. Now, I think he's limited in a lot of ways that some of his sluts will think he's really good at. But listen, he's a top 5 junior middleweight. He's a top 15 middleweight. I think he gives anybody at junior middleweight all they can handle every single day of the week, and he probably beats them half of those days. Okay? I would pick him over both Charlo brothers. I probably would pick Andre to beat him. I probably would pick J-Rock to beat him. I think he and Lara go life and death every single time they fight. So if they fight 10 times, I would pick Lara 5 out of 10 times. Alright? So we got that out of the way. So and again, anybody who disagrees with either of those two statements, I can't fuck with you. I really can't. As my homie Abi Sanchez would say, you're a fat vegetarian. I just can't fuck with you because something ain't right in there. You can't be a fat vegetarian, right? So, on to a little bit more deeper onto this thing. Do I think Canelo is a pussy or a bitch for ducking Triple G? Absolutely not. I really, in his heart of hearts, I believe that Canelo wants that fight. He wants to fight Triple G. So why isn't he fighting him? He's following the game plan of his mentor, man, his father figure, the main man around the town. I'm talking about Mr. Oscar De La Hoya. You know, he's following that playbook that De La Hoya had before he fought Ike Quartey, after he fought Pernell Whitaker. He went on and you know, just a who's who of somebody who ain't anybody, right? So he fought Camacho, who's way past it, you know, Patrick Charpentier, those kind of fights. You know, it was until he fought Obakar that he fought a real challenge, and even still, Obakar, everybody knew he was going to win that fight. So it was really the Ike Quartey fight is when he changed everything. After he lost to Dito, now he was in a position where he had to take tougher fights in order to keep his money where he wanted it to be. All right? So I really feel that it's De La Hoya doing Canelo this disservice. So here's two things that he's really doing to Canelo that are ultimately going to fuck the kid up. Because, again, I think Canelo wants a Triple G fight. So when he says, hey, man, just give me Triple G. Let's do it at 160. Let's take this fight. And the Golden Boy says no. You know, it's going to do one or two things to your guy. Either he's telling him no, let's let this fight simmer so it can be worth more money later, or he's telling him no because I think he's going to beat you. And I guarantee you it ain't option B. But in May, when Canelo beat Amir Khan, the single date that would have made the most fucking sense was, I don't know, today, September 18th. You know, I heard my homie Scott Knipe said yesterday, that Cinco de Mayo is the biggest day for Mexican boxing, and it's clearly not. Mexican independence is the biggest day for Mexican boxing. GGG's got that Mexican style. He calls himself the Kazakh Mexican or whatever the fuck he says. Canelo's clearly, you know, related to some Mexicans, even if he is Scottish or whatever the fuck he is. Today makes the most sense. September 18th, 2016 makes the most sense for them two to have fought at 160. I guarantee you, if Golden Boy wasn't in the picture, Canelo would be fighting Triple G today. Period. So, at what point does this start to fuck with Canelo's confidence? Because at some point he's gonna realize that his manager, his main man, his homie, his God, his mentor, his everybody, hopefully not his bed buddy. At some point he's gonna realize that he don't want him fighting Triple G. Not because it's not making as much money as they want to. Because look, that kid could make 10 million bucks tomorrow fighting him, or today really. If he fights him next year, what is he gonna make? 11 and a half? There's no more simmering needed in this fucking thing. They could do it right now. So on the psyche end, at some point soon, Canelo's gonna start to doubt himself. Well, why doesn't he want me fighting these tough fighters? Why does he got me, he says he's moving back down to super welterweight. From where? From 155 pounds, he's moving back down to 154? It's the same fucking weight. Same shit. So let's be real. So, on to the next piece is, what is my real issue then with this whole scenario? Right? Because a lot of fighters do a lot of things on the business aspect. They say, I'm doing this as a business. I never once faulted Floyd for behaving like a businessman. I praised him for behaving like a businessman because Floyd never made it about anything other than the business. Everybody knew why Floyd was doing what he did. He said that I'm the best ever, or whatever the fuck, right? TBE. But at the same time, when he signed those contracts and he's flashing money around, he made it 100% clear why he's doing it. It's for the money. If he was doing it for the glory, he would have taken the best fights and he would say, hey, I'm trying to be the most glorious motherfucker in the world. And look, Floyd might have ended his career at 47-2. Because even though I think he would have beaten all of those guys that he ducked, you can't beat them all in a row. You're about to learn that with Triple G if he fights Naoya Inoue, or he fights Cuadras again, and he fights Estrada again. If he fights them three motherfuckers in a row, after fighting Cuadras the first time, he's going to lose one of those fights. Even if I think he's better than all of those guys. You can't be the best guy every single night out. So, again, back to what is my issue with this whole thing. It's the fact that he's saying it is for the glory. He's not saying it's for the money. When he says Mexicans don't fuck around, and the next thing he does is fuck around. No, the absolute next thing he did was fuck around. Mexicans don't fuck around, and then proceeds to fuck around. That's the next thing he did. That's the shit that I can't get with. It's the double talk. It's the thing that has our political discourse completely fucked up, is that so many people say one thing and then immediately do the next. They don't even give you time to make you think that you're actually going to do that thing that you said. Look, he said that right after the Khan fight. The next fucking day they were talking about trying to back out of their Triple G fight. Think about that, bro. And I know people say, yeah, he was in the moment and emotions were running high, so he talked shit about Triple G. I don't give a fuck about the moment. I don't give a fuck about your emotions. If you're in the moment, you're emotional, don't renege on that shit tomorrow. Own your emotions, own your behavior. When I get drunk as hell and I challenge somebody to a fight, I can't turn around the next day and be like, man, I only said those things because I was drunk, so let's not fight now. Fuck no, I said them, I own them. He said them, he needs to own those things, right? He wants to fight GGG, he needs to fight the kid. Simple. And look, before I hear this shit too, because I know I'm going to hear this one. Well, how come you don't get on Triple G about ducking? Listen, Triple G ducked Andre Ward. He had enough opportunities to fight the guy, and he didn't. And he didn't. Look, he wanted to fight Floyd. He wanted a welterweight to come up to middleweight. But he didn't want to go up and fight Ward. He didn't want to meet Ward anywhere at any catch weight, right? So, look, Triple G ducked the fuck out of Ward, too. So, let's be real. Let's be real all the way around. That's a duck. Now, on to the scared thing. Danny Jacobs said about Triple G, man, we're fighters. We come in to do this. If we were doing this, we wouldn't be scared. No, I ain't scared of nobody. That is bullshit. There's a lot of fighters that fight that are scared to fight somebody else. It's plain and simple, man. And it might be business, it might be just fear. He might know that if he loses to GGG, his monetary income is going to slip. That's a simple fact of life. Do I think Danny Jacobs is scared to fight Triple G? Yes, I do. So, listen, man, on all of this shit here, let's just leave it with this. Canelo is ducking, flat out ducking Triple G. I think it's Golden Boy's fault that he's doing it. I think Triple G would murder Canelo in a fight. I don't mind Canelo's career progression at all. If he was my fighter, I would have done the same thing. I just wouldn't be bullshitting everybody on why I'm doing it. You know, he fought nobody for his first 40-something fights because he had no amateur career. So he should have done that shit. So everybody needs to chill the fuck out on being black and white with this conversation. There's a lot of gray middle ground as it comes to Canelo. You know, it's not he needs to fight the best every time out or die. That's not what it is. And look, like I say this again, you cannot fight the best every single time out. I would love to see Chocolatito take a fight against somebody in the top 10, not the top 5 in his next fight, to take a breather, to relax a little bit, stay busy but relax. Because if he fights Cuadras again in a rematch, Naoya Inoue, and then Estrada, and then, you know, any of those Thais or other Japanese motherfuckers out there, bro, he's going to lose. Even if he's better than each and every one of them on a single night, he can't be better than all of them every night. It's just not possible. So, if you disagree with this, you can go fuck yourself. Bow Top Boss out.